The Denver Nuggets have done an incredible job building their team over the years with great scouting and a bit of luck. To be as competitive as they are, having a young player as talented as Michael Porter Jr. is an incredibly privileged position to be in as an NBA team. He developed into a legit third option on a championship caliber team last season behind the Joker and Jamal Murray and finished third in most improved player voting. He has now signed that 5-year max extension and will be looking to take another leap in the 2021-22 season. In this video, we will go over why Michael Porter Jr. will ascend into an all-star next season and why at some point in his career he will develop into a bona fide superstar. But before we dive in, if you end up enjoying this video, hit that like button for me to support the channel and consider subscribing. Also, let me know in the comments section how good a player you believe Michael Porter Jr. can develop into. As some of you already know, I do try and respond to most people. Okay, so let's get into it. We all knew this kid was a special talent long before he was drafted. No one would have ever guessed he'd fall outside the top 3 in his draft class, considering he was a tall and athletic forward who could score literally from anywhere on the court. Injuries, unfortunately for him, strongly hurt his draft stock. Porter Jr. even revealed that the Clippers' head doctor told him that he would never play again, which explains them passing on him twice. And as we all know, he fell right into the Denver Nuggets' lap. Tim Connolly simply couldn't pass on his tantalizing potential, and it's most definitely paid off. Last year, he solidified his spot as the third guy on a contender after averaging 19 points on fantastic efficiency, scoring at a 54% clip and knocking down 44.5% of his shots from downtown on a high volume. And what's great to see is his efficiency actually improved from the year prior despite shouldering a bigger offensive load. Offensively, he kind of looks like a taller Klay Thompson out on the basketball court. He actually joined Kevin Durant as one of only 2 players in NBA history to average at least 19 points and 7 rebounds per game on 44% shooting from the three-point line. Now, there were some critics who attributed his success to the fact that most of the attention was focused on Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray, giving him more room to operate, but he proved those critics wrong when Murray went down with injury. Michael Porter Jr. stepped up big time in those 17 games as the team's second option, as he averaged 23.5 points on 56% shooting from the field, all the while hitting nearly 49% of his nearly 8 attempts per game from the three-point line. And best of all, the team was winning with him in that role. I also actually think him playing behind those 2 guys his first few years made him learn to play off the ball more and within the Nuggets system, as well as improving his game as a cutter and shooter, not to mention becoming a better defender than he was when he first entered the league. Imagine if he was drafted by a team like the Cleveland Cavaliers, for example, where he would be thrown in the fire as an offensive focal point from day one. There's a good chance he wouldn't have developed as well. He might have turned into an empty calorie scorer on that team. With Jamal Murray out, he has the opportunity to truly be unleashed offensively, and I'm sure playing with a dynamic passer like Jokic will help him in his quest. Michael Porter Jr. is a matchup nightmare with a 6'10" frame, high release, and fantastic body control in midair. He oftentimes looks absolutely unstoppable offensively, as he can truly score from anywhere and understands his role within the team, which is huge considering some wondered how he would fit on this Nuggets squad. Most of his shots were assisted, so it will be interesting to see if he will start creating for himself a bit more off the dribble while maintaining his efficiency. I would like to see him improve his ball handling as he develops, as it would open up a lot more for him offensively, whether it's creating for himself, drawing more fouls, or dishing it to the open man. And he has shown signs that he can improve in that regard. The kid is still just 23 years old and is still a few years away from his prime, so he does have plenty of room for improvement. Once he does, I see him developing into the go-to scorer on this team. There may come a point where he even overtakes Jamal Murray as the number 2 option on the Nuggets. I believe Porter Jr. can realistically put together an all-star campaign next season and develop into a surefire superstar and top 10 to 15 player at some point in his career. He has that kind of scary potential. What do you guys think? Will Michael Porter Jr. ever be a legit superstar in this league? Let me know down below, as I do try and respond to most people. And if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button for me to help out the channel and consider subscribing. Thanks so much for watching. Till the next one, guys, I'm out.